Palestinians, left-wing allies are reinterpreting biblical history. criticsGOP members introduce resolution condemning progressive lawmakers. Representative Michael Burgess with insight on Fox and Friends First. Palestinian leaders and their Western supporters on the political left are now reinterpreting biblical history amid a wider expansion of woke activism in the Middle East, critics say. The Palestinian Authority, emboldened by some in Europe and United Nations bodies, are looking to dismantle Judeo-Christian ties to the Holy Land as they seek to invent a new narrative favoring their claims on the region, opponents of the campaign argue.
Marcus points to the many historically inaccurate statements made by senior PA officials, including President Mahmoud Abbas, who in a 2016 claimed during a televised speech on Palestinian TV that, "Our narrative says that we were in this land since before Abraham. I am not saying it. The Bible says it. The Bible says, in these words, that the Palestinians existed before Abraham. So why don't you recognize my right?" A series of questions sent to President Abbas' spokesman and the Palestinian mission to the UN were not returned for comment. Every single day, archaeological excavations in the city of David, the place where Jerusalem began, are affirming not simply as a matter of faith, but as a matter of fact, the millennia-old connection of Jews and Christians to Jerusalem. Orenstein added. This includes the discovery of millennia-old inscriptions affirming biblical events, ancient seals with the names, in Hebrew, of figures straight out of the pages of the Bible, including that of the biblical King Hezekiah, direct descendant of King David from 2,700 years ago.
Orenstein says that, by visiting the city of David, people can witness this history, with their own eyes, touch with their own hands, and walk upon with their own feet. Yet, while the Erasure campaign is especially charged around Jerusalem, Regavim, an Israeli non-governmental organization, warns that the cradle of Jewish history has been under constant attack for years. She said, the Palestinian Authority and its supporters have proven willing, even eager, to destroy the physical remains of thousands of years of Judeo-Christian culture in an attempt to make way for a fictitious quasi-historical narrative that supports their political agenda. Khan said the Oslo Peace Accords made it clear that the Palestinian Authority had to protect sites of Judeo-Christian significance and that the PA was required to protect and enable free access for worship, study, tourism, and scientific exploration. The PA has completely disregarded these requirements, she said. Khan gave these examples. Photo credit Regavim. Sebastia is the name the Romans gave to Samaria and the capital city of the northern Israelite kingdom founded in the 9th century BC. It is now an official Palestinian tourism site, but Regavim claims that visitors will hear no mention of its Jewish connection, including its being an independent Jewish kingdom of which Samaria was the seat of government. In the same area, Regavim said there once stood a Byzantine structure purporting to be the burial place of Saint John the Baptist's head, but added that the structure has been destroyed and defaced. It now lies in ruins. Regavim says other cathedrals that were turned into mosques in Sebastia have been reinterpreted in PA tourism guides. Regavim said that it had identified over 300 such sites that have been looted, damaged or totally decimated or are in the process of being wiped out. Photo credit Regavim. Khan concluded with a warning, like the massive destruction wreaked on cultural artifacts by ISIS, the destruction of sites throughout Judea and Samaria is a tragedy for the shared cultural and historical legacy of humankind, and civilized nations should not be complicit in this barbarism. Halt, who is also a professor of history of the churches in the Middle East at Jerusalem University College and works on mutual understanding between Christians and Jews in Israel, noted that Christian society today is often on the brink of forgetting the Bible and the Christian tradition. She added that rewriting biblical history, therefore, will lure nominal Christians into the realm of the deceiver affiliated with agendas of antisemitism, secularism, or other religions. The PA-controlled historic city of Hebron is another flashpoint. Yishai Flesher, the international spokesman for the Jewish community in Hebron, said the city has served as an example of how the rewriting of the historical record has changed the historical narrative to favor the Palestinians. He noted that in 2017 UNESCO voted to put the Tomb of the Patriarchs as a Palestinian World Heritage Site that it said was under threat from the Israelis. That vote led the Trump administration to quit the UN body. He said that Abraham was also laid to rest in the tomb with Sarah, and following their passing so were his sons, Isaac and Jacob, and their wives Rebekah and Leah. They were all buried inside the Tomb of the Patriarchs and Matriarchs in Hebron, making it one of the holiest sites in Judaism. King Herod built a structure 2,000 years ago to mark the tombs and made it a mausoleum. Subsequently, the Al-Haram al-Ibrahimi Mosque was built within the structure, and it still functions as an active mosque for Hebron's majority Muslim community. Fleischer sounded a warning on the consequences. In lieu of defeating Israel on the battlefield, the jihad has initiated a war of delegitimization intended on erasing international support for Israel, he said. In essence, it's a massive smear campaign in which Israel's ancient history in this land is systematically erased and replaced with an invented Palestinian narrative. The main target of this campaign are young Westerners who are simply too ignorant to fight back with facts. Fleischer said he will continue to defend history from what he called the jihadist replacement narrative. We will do everything to fight it and assert our historic rights in Judea and fight historical erasure.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe,